Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves a track by an act named Shannon titled Do You Know? And if we switch over to here, this track is off of his album, if I'm not mistaken, titled Lucky. But yeah, we're going to be listening to the single today, so we're going to hear this track, listen to it from start till finish. I'm going to hear what we think. Let's go. Oh, it's really pretty with these sort of like vaporwave-ish kind of synths in the oscillation and stereo field.
Hope you know it's time for you and me to let our love light show, let it shine upon our destiny.
Yeah, lo-fi kind of jazzy vibe to those harmonies. Lots of space to it.
Me too. I really hope you do. At least I want you to. Yeah, I want you to.
I'm assuming that's some sort of reverse take guitars or something like that, a bit of violining or something like that. Really great effect on that lead line. Nice foil to his vocals.
I hope you know I'm always thinking. Do you know it's true? You're all I ever wanted. I'm all you ever need. And if you fall, just fall for me. I'll sweep you off your feet. I hope you know I'm always.
And a really catchy vocal melodies here, nice legato feel to them. It sounds bigger in this part, I think, because of those extra pads and other sort of bass elements. And that sequencer as well on the sides, and that 16th note groove. Great sense of space as well after that.
I'm your dream come true. That I'm the one for you. Yeah, I'm the one for you. Hope you know that you're my fantasy, but in reality, we are meant to be. It's destiny.
I like the way that the guitar is processed in a similar way, if that is a guitar to the synths as well. It comes in waves, you know. Oh, and the falsetto is there. Charming.
I hope you know I'm always thinking. Do you know it's true? You're all I ever wanted. I'm all you ever need. And if you fall, just fall for me. I'll sweep you off your feet.
Nice little interlude here as well, a bit of sizzle on those guitar parts. Clear proficiency on the instrument. I like the percussion as well. We're not just sticking with the chord and no groove, we're mixing up with those 8ths and 16ths as well. It's quite charming.
Let your love light shine. Oh, oh. I'm all you ever need. And we are meant to be. I hope you know.
Oh, and a key change? Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't expecting there to be a key change, but it's a nice sort of smooth move at the end of the single. Cool. Great track. Great track. Because this is the conclusion of my review of Do You Know by Shannon off of the Lucky album. You know, this was released a couple of years ago. It's nice to be able to listen through Shannon's stuff. Got a bit of attention here with 32k plays. What do I think this song is about? I think this song is about an individual who is basically saying to whoever they're singing this to you, do you know that I think of you? Do you know that I'm the right one for you? Do you know that it'd be better in my arms, etc.? You know, like, I think it's a song trying to help the other person to understand that the situation would be preferential if they were to get connected in that sense, you know what I mean? I think that the way it's sung by Shannon is exquisite. I do really enjoy the tone of what's going on, a sense of ease with the vocal technique and the way that he's floating between those head and chest voices. It sounds like such a seamless transition. It's clearly someone who's got a bit of experience. You can see that they have got a few tracks out at the moment. You can see the Spotify is fairly active, which is good. It's good that they've been releasing more music. The more you put out, as long as it's to an acceptable professional level, and as long as it shows your best angle, that's what you want. You want to keep releasing music and pumping it out there, and so that people know what you're all about. I think that this track is sort of to display, Shannon's romantic side, his sort of sensitive and sort of vulnerable side, whilst also showing a sense of strength in the same facet by saying that he's confident that he could be this person for someone. And the way he sings it, the articulation there, the little bits of flutter in that falsetto, the softness, the dynamic range of the performance, the control over the loudness of it. I think there's a lot of things to appreciate here from that perspective. And obviously in this type of music, the vocals are typically the focal point. But it's worth noting as well the motif with those really soft, gentle synths, the drums, that sort of resonant but sort of firm and anchoring bass. There's a lot in here to really appreciate and not ignore. You really need to pay attention, I think, in the motif to how that really helps to elevate what's going on with Shannon's vocals. And while he does mix up the flow of the melodies in the verse sections, but keeps them sort of repeating in that hook section, even with that modulation in the last chorus, it's worth noting that the motif, no matter where it is, still sort of represents the story well with its softness, and there's cute little sort of jazzy, majorish harmonies here. It's never a sad sound. It's always full of hope and optimism, and I think that is meant to indicate that things will again be better if we follow through with considering what we know. It's great to hear someone like Shannon continue to use different instruments throughout the arrangement. We didn't just sit with one way of approaching it or another. We balanced out the needs of the drums with the bass, with the synths and the little plucks and the sequences coming in those chorus sections. We knew when to build it up and sort of make it bigger and more sort of intense and entertaining. And entertaining, what I mean by that is effectively it's less about making it exciting and sort of engaging, but also trying to sort of, I guess, connect with the listener and help them to understand what that's like when they felt similarly about someone. It's that relatability combined with an authenticity that not only comes through with the vocal performance, but also comes through in regards to how those instruments are played and performed there. I like those little guitar parts we had, especially at the end. Some of those lead lines as well, we sort of took the focus away from the vocals, which I thought was very brave and meaningful and important because it illustrates the flexibility and versatility of the musician involved. We're not paranoid about sticking to that one sort of chord progression or one bass line. We're able to sort of further build on it and develop it. I think that's really important, and again, it's a great first impression. Even though the song floated along for the majority of the time, I never felt there was no filler. There was enough change and shift within the arrangement, the composition, to keep it entertaining and engaging. And while this isn't usually my cup of tea, this style of music, I think this is one of the better efforts at it I've heard recently, and I have a lot of respect for what we've done here in that regard. I think it's ready for commercial release, and that just goes further into the production, recording, mixing, mastering, which is sensational. I enjoyed the sound of the vocals, how they were recorded, the crispness and the professionalism on board is sensational with the studio side of things as well. The EQing of it, the filtering and the effects vocals, especially with the overdubs on the sides in that chorus section, they were really kind of ethereal and otherworldly. It was kind of crazy how they were kind of made to sort of mesh with each other and amalgamate. At the same time, I think that it was the best possible combination, working between those head and chest voices to kind of get that floatiness with the grounding of the mid-range alongside the drums and the side chain drums and the bass and those synths on the side as well. Beautiful use of the stereo field. There are lots of interesting stuff happening around their headphones. It gets a lot wider in that chorus, but it doesn't mean to say there wasn't stuff happening in the verses and the interlude sections and such like that. The leveling and the mix was great. The limiting compression was fantastic. And this is effectively my review of Do You Know by Shannon off of the Lucky album. Clearly we have someone here who knows what they're doing, and if you enjoyed listening to this track, please do go check out Shannon's various social medias and their Spotify page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as either help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I will catch you in the next review. Spiderhands Out.